New Jersey, the Garden State, we know the cliches, boardwalks and beaches, the sun-kissed shores and the bustling boardwalks are what most people think of when they hear New Jersey. It's a place where families come to enjoy the summer, where the smell of saltwater taffy fills the air, and where the sound of seagulls is a constant companion. But beyond the picturesque scenes that grace postcards and travel brochures, there's a side of New Jersey that remains hidden from the casual observer. Bruce Springsteen and Bon Jovi, icons of the state, their music tells stories of hope, dreams, and the working-class spirit. They are the pride of New Jersey, embodying the resilience and grit of its people. Their songs have become anthems, resonating with fans far and wide. But even in their lyrics, there's a hint of the struggles that lie beneath the surface. But there's another side to Jersey, a darker side. It's a side that doesn't make it into the tourist brochures or the feel-good stories. It's a side that many would prefer to ignore, but it's very real. It's the side of New Jersey that tells a different story, one of hardship and adversity. A side most tourists never see. It's hidden in the shadows of the highways and the back alleys of the cities. It's the part of New Jersey that you won't find on a guided tour. It's a world away from the glitz and glamour of the boardwalks, yet it's just around the corner. It's a side hidden in plain sight. You might catch a glimpse of it as you drive by, but it's easy to look away. It's easy to pretend it doesn't exist. But for those who live it every day, it's impossible to ignore. It's the side of poverty, addiction, and despair. It's the side where people struggle to make ends meet, where the American dream feels out of reach. It's a place where hope is a scarce commodity, and every day is a battle for survival. It's the face of homelessness. And it's getting worse. The numbers are staggering. More and more people are finding themselves without a place to call home. The reasons are many: job loss, mental illness, addiction, and a lack of affordable housing. The result is the same: lives in turmoil. Thousands of men, women, and children are living on the streets. They are the invisible population, often overlooked and forgotten. But they are there, in every city and town, trying to survive in a world that seems to have turned its back on them. Tent cities are springing up under bridges and in the shadows of highways. These makeshift communities are a testament to the growing crisis. They are places of last resort where people come together for safety and support, but they are also places of great vulnerability, where the basic necessities of life are hard to come by. These are not just statistics, they are human beings. They are our neighbors. They have stories, dreams, and aspirations. They are people who have fallen on hard times and need a helping hand to get back on their feet, and they are in desperate need of our help. There are organizations and individuals working tirelessly to provide support, but the need is overwhelming. It's a crisis that requires a collective effort, a community coming together to make a difference. We can't ignore this crisis any longer. It's time to take action. It's time to advocate for change, to push for policies that address the root causes of homelessness and poverty. It's time to demand better for our fellow citizens. We can't pretend it doesn't exist. We can't walk by and look the other way. We have to face it head on and work towards solutions. It's a challenge, but it's one we must rise to. It's time to shine a light on the dark side of the Garden State. It's time to bring these issues out of the shadows and into the public eye. Only then can we begin to address them in a meaningful way. It's time to have some uncomfortable conversations. It's time to act. The future of New Jersey depends on it. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can bring hope to those who need it most. What leads a person to homelessness? The answers are complex and multifaceted. It's not just one event or a single bad decision. Often it's a series of unfortunate circumstances that spiral out of control. It can start with something as simple as a medical emergency that drains savings, or a job loss that makes it impossible to pay rent. They are as varied as the individuals themselves. Each person has a unique story, a unique set of challenges and obstacles that led them to this point. Some have faced domestic violence, others have struggled with mental health issues, and many have been caught in the web of substance abuse. But there are some common threads. Economic instability, lack of affordable housing, and inadequate social support systems are recurring themes. These issues create a fragile foundation that can easily crumble under pressure. The opioid epidemic has ravaged communities. It's not just the individuals who suffer, but entire neighborhoods that feel the impact. Families are torn apart and the social fabric of communities is weakened. People lose their jobs, their homes, their families. The loss is not just material but emotional and psychological. The sense of stability and security that many take for granted is shattered. Evictions are on the rise. More and more people are finding themselves without a place to call home. The legal system often favors landlords, leaving tenants with little recourse. The cost of living keeps going up, while wages stagnate. The system is failing. People are working harder than ever, yet finding it increasingly difficult to make ends meet. The gap between the rich and the poor continues to widen. The COVID-19 pandemic was a gut punch. It brought the world to a standstill and exposed the vulnerabilities in our society. Small businesses closed, jobs were lost, and the economy took a massive hit. It exposed the fragility of our social safety net. Many who had never needed assistance before found themselves in long lines at food banks and unemployment offices. The system was overwhelmed and unprepared. People lost their jobs, their savings, their hope. The emotional toll was immense. The uncertainty and fear of not knowing what the future holds can be paralyzing. Many were already living paycheck to paycheck. The pandemic pushed them over the edge. It was the final straw for those who were already struggling to keep their heads above water. The pandemic pushed them over the edge. It's a slow-motion disaster. People are now living in their cars, setting up tents in urban areas and trying to survive in any way they can. A perfect storm of economic inequality, social injustice, and government inaction. People are taking to the streets demanding change and fighting for their rights. The voices of the marginalized are growing louder, and the people caught in the middle are paying the price. They are the ones who suffer the most, bearing the brunt of a system that has failed them. Their stories need to be heard, and their struggles acknowledged. Drive down the New Jersey Turnpike and you'll see it, the stark contrast. Gleaming skyscrapers of wealth and privilege. Just a few miles away, tent cities and soup kitchens. The American dream, right alongside the American nightmare. Tourists flock to the Jersey Shore every summer. They come for the beaches, the boardwalk, the nightlife. They don't see the people sleeping on the benches. They don't smell the despair in the air. It's easy to look away, to pretend it's not happening, but we can't ignore it anymore. The problem is too big. The stakes are too high. Meet Michael. Michael's story is one of resilience and heartbreak. He was once a dedicated construction worker known for his hard work and reliability. But one day a tragic accident changed everything. He lost his job as a construction worker after an injury. The injury was severe, leaving him unable to perform the physically demanding tasks his job required. Despite his best efforts to find alternative employment, the job market was unforgiving. He couldn't afford his rent. The bills piled up, and soon he found himself facing eviction. The notice on his door was a stark reminder of how quickly life can change. He ended up on the streets. With nowhere else to turn, Michael had to adapt to a harsh new reality. The streets became his home, and survival became his daily challenge. He's been homeless for 2 years. Despite the hardships, Michael remains hopeful. Meet Sarah. Sarah's journey into homelessness began with a series of unfortunate events. She's a single mother of 2. Her children are her world, and she has always done everything in her power to provide for them. But the pandemic brought unforeseen challenges. She lost her job during the pandemic. The economic downturn hit her hard, and finding new employment proved to be an uphill battle. The job postings seemed to mock her efforts. She's been evicted from her apartment. The loss of income meant she could no longer afford her rent, and soon, she and her children were forced to leave their home. She's living in her car with her children. The car, once a means of transportation, has now become their shelter. Meet John. John's story is one of service and sacrifice. He's a veteran struggling with PTSD. After serving his country, John returned home with invisible wounds. The trauma of war left him battling with his own mind. He turned to drugs to numb the pain. He lost everything. The addiction took over his life, leading to the loss of his home, his family, and his sense of purpose. He's been living on the streets for 5 years. Each day is a struggle, but John holds on to the hope that one day he will find a way to heal. These are just a few of the thousands of faces of homelessness in New Jersey. They are not statistics. They are human beings. They are our neighbors. Each face tells a story of struggle, resilience, and the hope for a better tomorrow, and they need our help. Together, we can make a difference. By extending a hand, offering support, and showing compassion, we can help change their stories. Let's not forget the faces of the forgotten. There are people fighting back. Organizations like St. Paul's Community Development Corporation and Heart of Hannah are on the front lines. They provide food, shelter, and support services to those in need. They offer a lifeline to those who have lost everything. Dedicated individuals like Richard Williams and Kelly Brown are working tirelessly to make a difference. They are the unsung heroes of this crisis. They are a beacon of hope in a sea of despair. But they can't do it alone. They need our help, they need our support, they need our voices. There are glimmers of hope. Governor Murphy signed legislation to address the affordable housing crisis, but it's not enough. We need more affordable housing options, we need more mental health and addiction treatment centers, we need more job training programs, we need to break the cycle of poverty and homelessness, we need to invest in our communities, we need to create a safety net that catches those who fall. It's not going to be easy, it's going to take time, money, and political will. But we can't afford to wait, the lives of our neighbors are at stake. Why is this happening? Why are so many people homeless in one of the wealthiest states in the nation? It's a complex question with no easy answers, but one thing is clear, we are failing to address the root causes of homelessness. We are failing to provide affordable housing. We are failing to provide adequate mental health and addiction treatment. We are failing to create economic opportunities for all. We are failing to see the humanity in those who are suffering. We are failing to see our own reflection in their eyes. This is a call to action. We can no longer ignore this crisis. We can no longer turn a blind eye to the suffering in our own backyard. We need to act now. We need to demand action from our elected officials. We need to support organizations that are working to combat homelessness. We need to volunteer our time and resources. Every single one of us can make a difference. Every dollar donated, every hour volunteered, every voice raised in support can help turn the tide. We are all connected. What affects one of us, affects us all. The homeless crisis in New Jersey is not someone else's problem, it's our problem. It's time to open our hearts. It's time to open our minds. It's time to open our wallets. It's time to stand up and be counted. It's time to make a difference. The time for complacency is over. The time for action is now. Join the fight. End homelessness in New Jersey.